Understanding the data. Refining. In this section, we will look into how to better understand data, its features, the information it contains, and how to refine data, or to clean it and make it ready for analysis. The data available to you can tell you many things about the phenomenon you are observing. The possible ways to explore data depend on its quantity and quality. Among the elements to keep in mind are, for example, its size. What does it really mean? What does it establish? What are the main features? Does our data have a geographical dimension and allows for a comparison between territories? Does it have a temporal dimension and allow for us to evaluate the change of a phenomenon over time? Therefore, it's very important to really understand the nature of the data and to understand how to analyze it using some simple steps. Let's delve further to see what features data can have. The data that you are collecting for your research may contain geographic information. It may tell you what the measurement is, the extent, the intensity of a phenomenon on a given territory. What kind of territory are we talking about? National, regional, provincial, or municipal? What is the connection between the territory indicated by this data and that concerning the project you have chosen? What additional information can you collect by analysing the geographical information of your data? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself about your research when faced with geographical data. The data can also allow for analysis of the development of a phenomenon over time and determine the changes. In this case, we're talking about time series. For example, has waste sorting increased, decreased, or remained stable? Is the number of tourists in a territory the same from year to year, or are there changes? Is the phenomenon in question growing or shrinking? The National Statistics Institute continually publishes time series. Take a look. Qualitative data is data which defines the intrinsic features of one or more subjects. Now ask yourself, which features among those examined thus far does your data have? It is a question that you have probably already asked yourself, but it is always important to discuss it. To achieve your final research goal, which features should you be most interested in? Once you find the answers to these questions, you must clean the data. Cleaning the data means making them consistent with each other within the same table, checking that they are correctly formatted, and ensuring they are well structured within the rows and columns to avoid running into partial or, even worse, incorrect analyses. There are several tools that help clean data, such as Open Refine. Here are some useful tips for good data cleaning. First, check that the similar values are written the same way. For example, a mistake would be if environment was also written environment with a small e and environment in capital letters. They must all be written in a similar way. Even the dates, if any, must be written in a similar manner. For example, it would be erroneous for some dates to be entered in numeric format and others in alphanumeric format. You must have dates in one format only. Check them using the Format Cells function in the table. Make sure that the numerical values are presented correctly. Check the sheet numbering system in Worksheet Settings. The data can be enhanced either by a decomposition within the table that permits cross-referencing further information, or through additions, such as the geographical coordinates. For the best manipulation of the data, it should be as granular as possible, that is, as if they were broken down to their atoms. For example, if your data has a column for place and has an entry such as municipality, province, region, it is much better to divide the column into 3 other columns: municipality plus province plus region. This will allow you to analyse all three facets of the data: municipal, provincial, regional. Your dataset does not necessarily provide you with all the necessary information. In some cases, you may have to enhance it by adding new columns with specific information. You may have already done so, partly, following the previous directions. But there may be other ways to enhance a dataset. Using the same example as before, after dividing the place column into 3 columns, municipality, province, region, it might be useful to enter other information, such as latitude and longitude, especially if you plan to build a map using the same data. To do this, you will insert 2 new columns, latitude and longitude, and you will go back to the geographical coordinates through the reference document. There are various online tools that are able to geocode. Always remember to make sure that the data is reusable.